If I'm not a woman, then what is my child in your eyes? One question society keeps dodging. I never thought I'd have to defend being a woman. Not after carrying a child, raising them, loving them through scraped knees, nightmares, and first heartbreaks. But lately, it feels like every headline, every legislative proposal, every whisper behind my back is trying to erase me because I'm a lesbian, because I'm a mother without a man beside me. And in today's political climate, that combination seems to scare people more than it should. A few weeks ago, I took my child to a pediatrician's office we hadn't visited before. Our regular doctor had moved clinics, so we had to find someone new. The front desk nurse gave me a curious look when I handed over the forms. "You're the mother?" she asked, glancing at the blank space under father's name. "Yes," I said calmly. She tapped her pen twice, then asked, "And your partner, the other mother, is she biologically related to the child?" I stared at her. "Does that change how you'll treat them?" She went quiet, but the damage was done. And it didn't stop there. Later, during the checkup, the doctor asked if my child had ever shown confusion about gender identity, citing that many kids in non-traditional homes often do. I asked him if he would have asked that question if I were a single straight mom. He didn't answer. He just wrote something down and moved on. We're living in a time when politicians are passing laws that ban access to gender-affirming care for trans youth, even in cases where both the child and their parents agree it's necessary. They say it's to protect children, but what they're really protecting is a worldview. A rigid, fearful image of family, gender, and childhood. And when someone like me, a lesbian mother, steps into a space they think should be traditional, it threatens that image. It happened again last month. My child wanted to join a local youth swimming club. They were so excited. We bought a new swimsuit together, goggles, even a ridiculous neon towel that they insisted was lucky. But when I filled out the registration form, one question stopped me cold. Does the child live in a stable two-parent household? Male, female. I left it blank. 2 days later, we got an email saying the group was at capacity. Strangely, other kids in our neighborhood, kids who applied later, were accepted. Maybe it was coincidence, or maybe it wasn't. I'm not saying all of this because I want pity. I'm saying it because these things are connected. The new laws banning books with LGBTQ+ characters, the bills restricting trans kids from accessing sports or bathrooms that match their identity, the rules that police how parents should raise their children. They all stem from the same fear that families like mine exist and thrive. Here's the truth they don't want to hear. Children are not confused by love. Adults are. My child has never once asked, "Why don't I have a dad?" What they do ask is, "Why do people care so much that I have 2 moms?" And I never have a good answer, because I don't understand it either. They say these laws are about protecting children, but protecting them from what? From families that look different? From learning that gender isn't a straight line? From knowing that love can exist outside of a man-woman equation? Last week, my child told me a classmate wasn't allowed to come to our house anymore. They said our family is confusing, they said. I held them and whispered, "We're not confusing. We're just honest in a world that prefers lies." Because what's more confusing, a child raised in love by 2 moms, or a society that tells them that love is wrong? Sometimes I wonder how much more erasure we can endure if lawmakers say trans women aren't women, if they say LGBTQ+ parents are damaging to their kids, if they say gender is fixed and families must fit a mold. Then what does that make my child? A mistake? An experiment? That's when I get angry. Not for me. For them. If I'm not a woman, then what is my child in your eyes? Because you can't erase one without denying the other. I'm not here to win an argument. I'm here to tell the truth. My child's truth. And the truth is this. You can pass 100 laws, but you will never legislate love out of our homes. You can shame, exclude, and pretend we don't exist, but we will still show up. at doctors' offices, at school gates, in locker rooms, on podiums, and yes, at voting booths. You're watching Accent of Strength, where real stories challenge silence. If you believe in families that don't need to ask for permission to love, subscribe and join the movement. Leave a comment below. What would you say if someone questioned your right to be a parent?